We should be recording right now. Kerry Atherton, welcome. Thanks for joining us. How are you today?
Hi, Anton. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you, girl. I'm great. Thanks for joining in on our Lunch and Learn today. I love your work.
Pleasure. Great to be here.
Great.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Anytime. It's good fun. We love chatting. So you're an extrovert. I'm an extrovert. So we'll work well. So very quickly, Kerry, what I love, actually, it's probably easiest for you to tell everyone a little bit about what you're doing, about your book launch, and I'm hoping you've got one of your books there because I have, if you haven't. And I guess in relation to your book and what you've learned and how you've written about people that have overcome adversity, some of the stuff you've written about in your books is like pretty hardcore stuff, right? And you've got a hardcore story. So why don't you spend a few minutes maybe telling us a little bit about how you've got to where you are now on your journey, and then the book and the stories of hope. And then what I want to transition into, Kerry, is how do people have hope during COVID-19? So the word hope, if you define it, is an expectation. It's looking forward to something better or something different. And
Yeah.
unfortunately, we're in the new normal now. So what does hope look like for COVID-19? So there's probably a few questions there about Kerry, about your book, and then about hope during COVID.
Yeah. Well, about Kerry, I have had to learn how to have a lot of resilience in my life. And we don't learn resilience without having gone through hard times. So what's come out of those hard times is actual gold. And, I am hope in skin, as are all the other people who are in these books. We've got 11 stories in each, plus my story, a different story that I've been through. But each one of these people has just found something inside themselves in the midst of their darkest time that has just enabled them to just reach in and desire to live more than stay in their pain. Mm-hmm. And every single one of those people has found their purpose. And they all say, as do I, that if we had to go through that pain again, we would, because what's come out of that journey and the hope that we've been able to offer other people is so much more incredible. It far outweighs what we've been through. And I think that it's very easy in times of crisis and tragedy to let fear just totally overwhelm us. But something that I've had to do many, many times in my journey is not lose sight of the resilience that I have had. And when I feel very overwhelmed is go back and revisit those times when I have come out the other side. So it's like looking for the evidence of victory and keeping on drawing on that whenever times just really get so hard and hit us in the face. And the reality is for each one of us that we all have the tools and skills because we've overcome hard times before. So what may change is the circumstances around us, but we still have those same tools and those same things inside of us to be able to get us through. And probably on our journey as we go along, we've even got greater tools to be able to get through. So it's looking for those tools, revisiting the past victories and the evidence that we have come out the other side of hard things before and we can do it again.
Wow. So it's about self-trust, self-belief, and a bit of self-confidence is what I'm hearing, yeah?
Definitely, yeah. And I mean, for a lot of people, they also believe in something outside themselves, for different people in different religions, they call out to a greater power. And, that's something that I have found very helpful on my journey, and I know many other people do. But I think also I've learned how to keep my emotions regulated. And it's something that's very important going through COVID-19. It's, if our emotions reach over a 5 out of 10, then that's start for concern. Now, obviously, happiness over 5 is fantastic, but what comes up must come down. So I say, don't ride the roller coaster, ride the train.
Oh, nice, nice, great analogy.
Yeah,
So
the more
keep
level we can keep, the better it's going to be.
well said, because I did a whole lot of research yesterday just around psychological safety and what that amygdala gland's doing when it's sort of in that heightened level of a negative emotion, like fear, for example, Kerry, or like a lack of hope. Because a lack of hope is really a negative emotion because you're just stuck here in this moment in time without something to actually, to look to look forward to look forward for. Um,
Yeah,
and I love the resilience piece that you talked about, and I love having faith in the universe or whatever you call that greater purpose. And
yeah.
so, Kerry, just very specifically, with all the people that you've met, what have you learnt really, like a real, a concrete skill set, maybe the one or two things? And I love the fact that you said everyone's got a story. We've all got a story, and you know that I preach that till forever and tell everyone that they've got a story and that they're obliged to tell that story so that others can learn from it. So what have you
Yeah.
learnt? What have you learnt specifically from 22 and your own stories of hope right now that COVID, that people could be thinking about to actually have some hope for the future? What is it maybe that they can take away from our little chat today?
I think we've got a choice. And I've met a lot of people in my counselling day, like I'm a counsellor, and I meet a lot of people. Most of the people that I meet, they make a choice that they don't want to live in that pain anymore, but that they do want to move forward. And most of those people are willing to come to an acceptance of what's going on in their life. Uh, Living in the past is something that will never work for a person who wants to have hope or wants to move forward. Because while ever we live in the past, we're stuck. We can never move forward and we don't have hope. So it's being willing to let go of the past.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, and a lot of people actually, make pain their address. They live in, what should have been a stage, but they live in that. If they live in that stage, they live in that event, for the rest of their life. Some people actually, unfortunately, never move forward from an event or a stage, but pain is a stage, and we all have the ability to move out of that stage. So it's about accepting, being willing to draw a line in the sand, and a new day. Each day is a new day.
So what I heard then was make a choice was the first thing, which I think is absolutely right, because we can actually choose our emotional state, as we all know.
That's right.
Be accepting of where we are right now, because you can't change the past. No one's got a time machine. We are where we are for whatever reason, because of whoever you want to actually blame or whatever, or don't even blame. Just take responsibility and that accountability, and that's the choice for actually parking the past and
Yeah,
taking action that is relevant to your future. Would that be a fair summary?
absolutely. I think self-care, being kind to ourselves, like we're all going through this at the moment. I haven't really been myself. People don't like uncertainty. Most people don't like change. And when change and uncertainty come and fear rises to the forefront, we can feel angry, frustrated, and that can come out in our actions. And then I think it's just acknowledging, okay, well, this is how I'm feeling. That's okay. I may have done or said something that I didn't want to do or say, but being kind to ourselves and then saying, okay, well, now we can move on.
Love it. Love it. Don't beat yourself up during this time.
No.
Be kind
Yeah.
to yourself, and that
And
self.
be kind to others. Extend the self to others
I
as we
know.
would like to have given to us.
Well said. And we're going to do part 2 to this chat in a sec. So we might actually wrap this one up. It's probably been 7 or 8 minutes, and we know for LinkedIn they don't like more than 10-minute videos. So we'll wrap this one up. I'll stop recording, and we'll come back with part 2, which is really about how you support others through this COVID time.
Fabulous. Yeah.
Thanks for joining me for part one, Kerry.
Thank you, Anton. Great talking. Bye.
Super.